Everyone knows that humans evolved from primates. What you don't know is that primates evolved from Nazis.
Hello, welcome to Sneedcast episode 1. I am your host Bones, and I'm joined here by co-host Sneedg.
SneedGF.
And
I am White Samurai, the artist formerly known as Burger.
And I am Budgie.
We have a good program today. You can already tell this is off to a great start. We have a good program today. We're gonna talk TikTok and music and how TikTok basically trivializes music, even though it's a great source to find good beats for your Aryan vaporwave propaganda.
You know what's cool about TikTok?
Yeah.
No.
All the milked up pogs.
Yeah, that's true. There's a lot of Ooga Googa Gaga women on TikTok.
Yeah.
For a long time, I didn't even know TikTok had music. That was news to me.
Yeah, I mean, originally it seemed like, this was just Vine 2.0, and occasionally Vine had music, you know.
No, TikTok was great. It's like, I don't know, I really like it.
There's something about TikTok that's funny to me.
Yeah.
Like,
hating TikTok is like very weird. Like, TikTok is just funny.
I just hate the preteens.
Of course, yeah.
What if you could only use the internet beyond a certain age?
I think you need to be at least like 17 to use the internet.
22.
22.
Because if you think about it, you know, you need to be like 21 to drink, 18 to smoke. But arguably, being on the internet young is worse for you than either of those.
Yeah, you could fuck your life up really bad.
I can attest to that because I started using the internet like full time when I was like 12, and it fucked me up.
Yeah. I started using the internet full time at 12, and look at me now.
Yeah, I discovered 4chan at age 13. Not a good time. At least
I started going.
Hey, at least they tried to save me on there. Like Pol tried to save me, but like B tried to save me by IP banning me.
Nice.
But then things changed.
We could have saved them.
Yeah, we could have saved me.
No, you're pretty right on that. That you shouldn't be allowed to be on the internet because you can die like from a car crash, and you can like fuck your life up on the internet as well.
Yeah, like because with a car crash, at least you're dead. Like your life ends.
Yeah.
There's like there's a dot.
Yeah, but I mean, you can put your life and your livelihood at risk on the internet. Is what I mean.
Yeah, that's true.
Shit, dude, I would wager that you're more at risk of fucking up your life on the internet than with a vehicle at that age.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like I know in America you can get. By the way, 2 Europeans, 1 American. That's how we roll.
Yeah.
But I know in America...
The number 1 EU-US Alliance cast online.
EU-US Alliance podcast. I know that in at least in some states in the US you can get a driver's license at age 16.
Yeah, that's how it is.
I know for a fact in Sweden you can put a tractor engine in a car and it's legal.
Yeah, perfectly.
And you can only drive in like the side row.
It's not really a car. Like all of them are the same. Like I don't know how to explain it, but like the skeleton or whatever. Yeah. It's all like the same. But it is pretty much what you said. Yeah, it's basically just a car that you can drive.
When I was in Sweden, I saw a lot of that.
Yeah. Like I think I never got an IPA, but I think it's 30 kilometers they can drive.
Yeah.
Or something like that. But people usually trim them to drive faster.
Yeah, they take down all the unnecessary weight.
Yeah. Then tamper with the engine and stuff.
Yeah, well, that is illegal, but we're not gonna condemn anyone who likes to drive like 2 kilometers faster.
Not condemning, not condoning.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, here you have to be. Here I know it's actually the alcohol culture. I would say is bad in the way that you can buy anything that's below 16.4, I think, by alcoholic volume. You can buy at age 16, so you can buy wine and like stuff at age 16.
Yeah, but that's just a soft drink.
Wine is a soft drink, yeah, true. And when you turn 18, you can buy like hard liquor.
Like vodka.
Yeah, like vodka, rum.
At
whiskey,
18, holy moly.
cognac.
Here's 20.
Is it 20 in Sweden?
Yeah.
Prohibition has done my nation dirty.
Well, we have the alcohol is state-owned in Sweden. Kinda.
Yeah, right. You have this weird system.
Mm.
Well, there's also like
It works pretty good, but like you.
yeah, like what the state fucking taxes the shit out of you for buying cigarettes and alcohol.
Yeah, that sucks. But like, I mean, the whole like the idea of having it
But yeah,
state-owned is pretty decent, I would say.
back to what we're talking about the internet and the youth. What I would like to say is a lot of these, especially girls, are really attracted to TikTok because they can flaunt their body when they're still pretty, you know. Like these teenagers and in some disturbing cases even preteens, they flaunt their bodies online for male attention.
And I would wager that stems from the idea of like the top tier influencers with millions of followers, where they get that dopamine, that validation.
Women nowadays,
from the little hard button.
women and both men and women, or boys and girls, they don't get life advice from their parents. They get life advice from Iggy Azalea twerk compilations.
Yeah,
Yeah.
these talking heads are running our youth into the ground.
Yeah,
Yeah, they should watch the Sneedcast, honestly.
yeah. This is what Sneedcast.
The Sneedcast is
I'm a
honestly,
big fan.
All right, so let's talk about that for a second. Sneedcast. So we all know that the Sneed, the great Sneed moment of the great Sneedology of.
I unfortunately am unaware. Could you explain Sneed to me?
All right. So for those who don't know, Sneed is referring to a visual gag in an episode of The Simpsons, where the store is called Sneed's Feed and Seed, formerly Chuck's, and I guess you can find out on your own what the joke is. But I think Sneed represents more of a mindset or like an idea. It's anti-establishment, but it's not like cringy Rage Against the Machine anti-establishment.
It's not Joker.
It's anti-Janny. It's an anti-Janny movement.
All my
It's-
homies hate Jannies.
It's being coy, it's being smug, it's being, it's being ha 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 ha,
And the real life Jannies are trying to keep me down.
Yeah, the real life, the glow in the dark real life Jannies that we call.
Glow in the dark CIA
that we-
gamer
That we
Jannies.
call the CIA, the NSA, everything. They're trying to, the FBI, they're trying to keep us down. It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen.
See, the Neo Roaring 20s will be built upon the back of Sneed.
Yes, Sneed mode. It's a
Sneed
mode.
Shock Infinite.
It's a mode. We're going in.
We're going Sneed mode.
We're going
Yeah,
Sneed
speaking
mode.
Return to
Sneed.
Sneed.
Yeah.
How are we with like certain words and actions on the podcast?
Well, if we accidentally let out a baddie, I'm probably gonna use like a funny sound to mask it.
Okay, like nigga.
Yeah, well.
Oh
you're-
yeah,
you're
you
black.
use Homer saying Sneed from the episode to censor colorful
Well, dude,
language.
I don't think anyone ever says the word Sneed in The Simpsons. I think.
Well,
I think we're just.
You can
gonna
dub
have-
it over.
Yeah,
with yourself saying
I'm
Sneed.
just gonna have like with my sexy voice. I'm just gonna yell into the mic. I'm just gonna yell Sneed.
Sneed!
Yeah. Sneed.
Sneed!
So that's
That's epic.
how we're gonna do it. But you're black, so you can say the N word. So that
That is true.
the purest.
If I'm French, am I technically black?
That's true.
No.
And I'm Dane, so I'm like an albino black.
Mm.
So I'm not gonna say it because of my lack of melanin, but I'm a brother.
Mm.
Mi Buddha.
Yeah,
A nigga.
I'm a brother. But TikTok, I think TikTok glorifies. I don't want to come off as pretentious, but I think TikTok has given a platform to like the sexualization of children, and I think also TikTok is actually one of the elements that led to the movie Cuties being made
Oh,
by
God.
by a black French Muslim woman.
Mm.
You know what they say about those? Well, actually, I don't know what they say about those when they're women, but I know what they say about them when they're men. But it's a lot with social media. Social media gives a lot of attention, and Gen Z and I guess Gen Z women and millennial women, they really, really like attention because they never got any as kids.
Mm.
Now they're all about that upvote feed culture where, my parents didn't say nice things to me, maybe people online will.
Yeah, and like...
So you're saying, if I want my daughter
Also,
to grow up as a respectable woman, I should treat her kind?
Like, nowadays, I think more women have OnlyFans than women that don't. So my advice for dating is find like a country girl with no access to the internet.
I don't think the majority has OnlyFans.
No.
I wouldn't say it's the majority, but I would say it's more common than not.
It's an alarming minority.
Alarmingly huge and vocal minority that is everywhere for some reason.
Yeah. Like, I see them everywhere. I see them on my feed all the time. But what I want to say is normalize posting tits on the timeline for free. We need to go back to tradition of women posting tits on the TL for absolutely free.
As a wise man once said, I will recognize your problem when you post tits and get the fuck out.
Well, here's the thing though. You claimed you want tits, but you don't post balls. Like, I think we should normalize ball posting. Yeah. I've never seen your balls, man.
Normalize ball posting? Well, I had to get into Bajihad by posting my balls.
Yeah, you did.
The requirement for Bajihad is you have to post balls. And the bigger your balls are, the higher your tier in the caste system will be.
And as you know, the three of us were at the top.
Which is why
alongside Baji and
Which is why there are no women in Bajihad, which means that they have to settle for the next best thing, which is all other social media platforms.
The women in Bajihad are only there for the harem.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't have access to the actual like ball chat. They have access to another chat.
I have surgically removed their ovaries. They're like female eunuchs.
What the fuck are you talking? Female eunuchs? That's like dead meat. What do you mean?
Pleasure.
Are you a female eunuch? Damn. I think also a lot of social media, especially TikTok, I think it trivializes music. Because...
Is that a bad thing though?
Yeah, I think because it gives less power to...
Well, music is sorcery, genuinely. And the magic of sound.
I'm a music-centered person, so I have to stand with musicians who say that stuff like... Even though I use Spotify, I have to say that Spotify has made music a commodity, which has given less power to the creators and more power to the board of directors at like fucking Warner Music or whatever, or Roadrunner Records or Capitol Records, whatever these big EMs.
Yeah, see, let me break it down for you with one simple question. What is the spiritual implication of shitty music?
Degeneration of the soul.
See, think about it, and look at the culture around you. Look at the music everybody listens to.
Music, and this is like, I think the parents' committee back in the 80s were right that music can harm kids, but I think they went after the wrong type of music because...
Yeah, they were right for the wrong reasons.
They went after Twisted Sister and Frank Zappa. And
unfortunate.
While Zappa was not like the most virtuous human being to ever exist, he was by no means a harm to children. Actually, that's not true because my dad made me listen to Frank Zappa as a kid. And that's why I grew up like this. My dad is a huge Zappa fan. But I think this whole music, you can get everything online now, which makes stuff like that one Wu-Tang record that Martin Shkreli bought. It makes it rare. It makes it valuable because well, now it is online, but there's only one copy. There's only like one master of it.
Everybody having access to music online is like every living human has access to holy texts that were not meant for their eyes and for priests only.
Yeah, it's true. Like, but the priests were in this case people who used to buy albums, and I still buy albums actually. But I don't do it as often anymore. I think it was way more prevalent pre-2010. I used to buy a lot of albums on CD pre-2010, and then I used to take the files.
Yeah,
put it on my PC.
I still have a lot of CDs from the 2000s era, the aughts.
Yeah. But I think especially because TikTok is pretty much nowadays a music-centered platform. Like most content on TikTok has some sort of music involvement in it.
And that's a surprise to me because I don't go to TikTok for the music aspect.
There was one song that I heard someone play on TikTok and I was like, oh, that's neat. What I like about TikTok is that it will auto-recognize songs or
doesn't?
or you choose a song or something like that.
Wait, you guys have TikTok?
No,
I only got
I'm very
YouTube.
interested in the technology behind it. Like,
Ah.
it will show you the if it can recognize the song, it will show you the title of the song in the description of the video, which I think is a really good thing because
Yeah, I don't have a TikTok account. I just go to look at Pogs.
I look
all
at
use
TikTok Hot
course you
Women
do.
compilation,
Yeah.
Pog compilation TikTok 2020 lockdown edition. No, this is true. I think I once watched an interview with a musician called Burton C. Bell, who has done a number of different projects, but he was talking about how Spotify basically put his like career in like this weird limbo state where he has to tour all the time, which he's not a fan of. Like touring, I guess playing concerts is fine, but like being on tour, like it ruins your like social life outside of like your band, basically. And it pretty much made it so that he has to tour with his music all the time because he's only earning revenue on ticket sales and merch sales, which is why you see a lot of these musicians nowadays, they push their merchandise all the way down your throat. And like, it's insane. Like you see all this like fucking, I can't really give any examples, but I guess like a lot of metal bands,
Yeah,
you know,
but the general just like shirts, hoodies, cups.
Yeah, caps, armbands, I don't know, fucking like flavored condoms in some cases.
Where's my Anal Nathrak flavored condoms?
Yeah, it's like
Flavored condoms? Sorry, I spaced out. What?
they were talking about how, you know, fucking
We're talking about band merch, basically.
musicians don't earn any money on sale of their music anymore unless you're like Kanye
Yeah.
or like, well, not even Jay-Z, because Jay-Z is not that relevant anymore. So I guess Kanye and like Future and people like that, fucking like Lil Uzi or like, I don't know, Blade, I guess.
Yeah, and people who post like Balkan War music.
Yeah, people who post like, I remember that guy on YouTube, Cocaine, who used to post all those Balkan songs, music.
Yeah, they make money.
What did you say?
They make money from their music.
He posted them back when you could monetize anything on YouTube, so I think he did make a few bucks off of it. But his channel
That's
was
nice.
terminated for hate speech, I think, back in like
Rest in peace.
2019. It was terminated, I think.
Another
I'm not
valiant
gonna
soldier
comment
in
on
the fight taken down.
But
F
the
in the
thing is,
chat.
YouTube has these topic uploads, you know, where they just auto-upload music and stuff. So, and since you can find actual albums with this Balkan music, YouTube themselves have uploaded this Balkan, like, quote-unquote hate speech music.
Nice.
So,
That's interesting.
I think...
So YouTube can do it, but the artists themselves
yeah, it's
can't.
really fucked up.
That's interesting. Corporations, not even once.
Yeah, and there are some videos that are like... I remember there used to be a video on YouTube that was literally just a guy jerking off, talking about how to elongate your dick. Like, it was a guy talking about...
Oh yeah, the jelking tutorials on YouTube.
Yeah,
they're
all
everywhere.
No, they're all gone now. They've been removed. Like, all
Are
the-
they actually?
all
You
the
can
one-
find stuff on YouTube.
all,
like
all the
where's
ones
it?
with like graphical content have been removed. I remember there was like this one where there's like a naked
What
guy
the
with this,
fuck?
like little shriveled dick talking about how to jelk.
Hold on, I'm gonna go to YouTube right now. I'm gonna look up jelking tutorial. I'm gonna see what I see. Because maybe it's just a regional thing.
Maybe. I mean, I have a
You need
VPN.
NordVPN for your
Yeah, we are
jelking tutorials.
sponsored by NordVPN. Check out the...
Oh nope, there's a dude here with his hog out with a
Okay,
year-old video.
so it's real. Nice. I guess, well, I don't think we're gonna link it, but...
No, but you can just look for jelking on YouTube.
jelk
Scroll
tutorials,
down,
so
then
how to
you
jelk.
I'm
then
watching
you
how
just
to
got full
put on a
hog.
condom.
How to put on a condom.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is the foundation of all girth exercises. Cool, man. All right,
Well,
get
I
me
mean,
out.
the thing about jelking is you're literally like making micro tears in your
Yeah,
penis.
and in the long term, it's worse for your penis than just leaving it alone.
But I think YouTube allows nudity as long as it's not meant as pornographic nudity. They have some videos that are artistic nudity.
Artistic nudity, yeah. There's definitely porn on YouTube.
Yeah, but
Still.
it usually gets like shut down pretty quick. But
Oh yeah, the moment it's made popular in any
there
way.
was that if it gets over like 10k views, YouTube will fucking find out and like auto delete it or like fucking send like a fucking task force to the guy's house who uploaded it and beat him.
Yeah, shit. Half the time you don't even need something pornographic for your video to get the trigger pulled out. You just have to say something funny, and then that's just a big
You
no-no.
only have to be slightly anti-corporate on YouTube.
If you guys look in general chat, I
Wait.
linked a video on how to put a condom on.
Yeah.
Oh,
Damn,
that man's naked.
That guy's got a nice honk.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
He's got a good forearm too. He must be jelking a lot.
Good form.
Yeah, dude. But yeah, jelking. Do not do that. It causes micro tears in the fabric of your penis, which can actually cause it to shorten.
How do
Yeah,
I
you-
yelk?
No.
You basically like take 2 fingers and you like press down on your penis like a press, and then you like pull.
Why would I do that?
Because apparently, like some retard said that it increases your penis length and girth.
I wouldn't want a bigger cock. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Just
Yeah, like
listen. If you have a small boy, a humble boy, just manifest a bigger schlong. Think about it.
just or like just date.
Think big
Just date
until you
someone
get
with a
big.
just date someone with a tiny pussy. They exist, and I'm not talking about children. There are
I was
women-
about to say that's what a lot of people on Twitter try to do anyway.
There are women with small, petite pussies who are of legal age. You just have to find them. Usually, you could find them hanging out at like these like rundown buildings that have been converted to like youth clubs.
Orphanages.
So
Sneedcast.com.
I went to this
I
I
disavow.
went to this class about like making like prints like out of like linoleum. I think it's called making like carving like prints that you know with like ink and stuff, and you can print it on paper like like those Japanese wood prints.
Right.
And the class was entirely populated by women. It was only me and my brother who went there. Actually, I took my brother with me because we had nothing to do. Like it's fucking.
Well,
locked.
did you score?
Well, I did not score because literally bros before hoes,
Right. True.
and
Not gonna abandon your boy in his time of need.
and a lot of them, I think a lot of them were like high school girls. So and I'm.
That makes
They,
more sense.
I mean, the legal age here is, I don't want to, because of, I'm not into that shit, but like the legal age is a bit lower here, so like,
Here come the libertarians.
we're gonna get a libertarian following. Nice. Like fucking, fuck libertarians. But yeah, I could just take one look at these women in this class, and I could just say, I could point out which ones were ovulating, and which ones had tiny pussies.
Well, you see, there's this interesting theory about pussy physiognomy from the face. Now, this is something that I've just felt, not necessarily done any research into. But there is a book written by some German guy, I think, called The Pussy is in the Face, where if you overlay a girl's lips over her eyes, that's what her vagina looks like.
If you overlay her lips over her eyes.
And then, hold on, I'm gonna see if I can't pull it up.
Oh,
What the fuck are you talking about?
We're talking about that you can tell what a girl's pussy looks like by her face. It's pussy physiognomy.
And it's real.
It's physiognomy. It's just like guys.
Pussyonomy.
It's just like guys who have like a well-developed mandible. Usually have big fat dump truck balls.
Yeah, see, listen, you can, if your pineal gland is not calcified, you can see a girl's vagina by looking at her face.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can also like see her.
I-
You can also see.
Or you can read this book right here, The Pussy in Her Face.
Ah, okay, I see what you mean now.
Yeah.
We'll definitely.
Ooh, that's pretty cool.
We'll link that in the comments. Or
No,
in the
do not.
description.
Do not. This is esoteric knowledge.
It's true. It's very secret, but like, you can tell. I mean, it's pretty easy to tell when a guy is like in the mood or like horny or whatever by his posts on like the internet. But it's a bit more esoteric and like finely tuned skill to figure out if a woman is ovulating based on her Twitter posts.
It depends on what her Twitter posts smell like.
Yeah, if you can smell Twitter posts, you're on like a good way. If they smell like, I don't know, I think if they smell like flowers, she's trying to cover something up.
My favorite way to check is to comment, "Hey baby, feeling fertile?"
That is true. That's also how you get a girlfriend. No, wait, sorry. How you get a girlfriend is just like run up to like a random girl on the street, like maybe like a jogger in the park, and then you're like, "Hey, wanna breed?"
Don't do that if you're black or Arab though, because
Do
you'll
not
be
do that
arrested.
if you're black or Arab. You will get called. The cops will be called on your ass.
Okay, so I shouldn't do it.
Yeah, you can only do it if you're a white man of European descent.
I mean, you can do it if you're black or Arab. You just have to make it count.
You have to, you have to like go all in. You have to Hail Mary it.
You have to assume that every answer to any of your questions is yes, and then just run through the process.
All right. Speaking of bleeding. Well, I guess that also plays into it. But speaking of breeding, Sneeding, Bleach Patrol.
Yeah,
What do you guys think about Bleach Patrol?
It's funny.
Yeah.
it's not a joke.
So for those who, well, it's funny, but it's not a joke.
It's funny because it's true.
It is, yeah. So for those who don't know, Bleach Patrol is a movement of racist bodybuilders on Twitter who are looking to colonize African wombs. They don't even have to be like, well, African.
It's not. It doesn't have. Yeah, I was gonna. Yeah.
They can be Arab. They can be Asian. Well, if you're colonizing Asians, I think you need like I think you need like a psychiatrist or something.
Yeah.
They can be
you do.
Brazilian.
They can be Brazilian. In the case of a person that we are good friends with,
Friend of the show.
a friend of the show. You could say
Yeah.
On Bleach Patrol soon.
Yeah.
Mm.
And of course we have Turning Point Scandinavia, the leading men in the Bleach Patrol movement, or as
Is this
they
true?
call it in Swedish, Blekningspatrullen.
You didn't pronounce that good at all.
Yeah, I know.
It's Blekningspatrullen.
Patrullen.
Mm.
Since when were you speaking Danish?
Käften.
Yeah.
Whoa! Race war! Race
Race
war!
war.
Race war!
Yeah. No, but I think Bleach Patrol as a concept is very interesting because it's actually pretty much only solely reliant on the giver of the bleaching, because studies show that a lot of non-white women tend to gravitate towards white men, so it's actually wholly reliant on the given consent, so to speak, of the bleacher.
Now, devil's advocate. What if Bleach Patrol is just cope for race mixers?
Well,
No.
here's the thing. Bleach Patrol is, I wouldn't say it's like a race mix. I think it's more just like fucking, you know, just fucking. Because I don't think a lot of these people who are on Team Bleach Patrol actually want to have mixed kids. I think they just want to sample the goods from other races, you know.
Oh yeah, it's like eating at a Chinese restaurant.
Yeah, exactly. It's like
really
eating
a
at a Chinese or like an Arab place. It's like
Where
going
it's
to the,
just
it's
like,
like going to
alright.
the, like the Turkish place and like get like a doner.
Hmm.
It's sampling the goods, and then like when you're done sampling, you can like go back to what you like, which is like fucking, I don't know, potatoes and meat. No, this is what builds.
Sounds boring.
Potatoes and meats are what builds strong warriors, and brown sauce or like fucking brown fucking gravy.
All I eat is kebab though. I don't eat, like, I don't know.
Never had a kebab.
Kebab is so good.
It is good, and while I do think that different cultures should have different food, the whole thing about region locking food has always been weird to me.
Yeah, region locking food's stupid.
Because like, oh, you're Scandinavian, but you eat pizza. I don't know. That's
Wait.
Raider.
I think that's a med cope. Honestly, that's.
You're
like
gonna lick the moss off your rock and you're gonna like it.
Yeah. The thing about a lot of Scandinavian cooking is it has a lot of fish in it. Like, it's very fishy.
Mm.
If we're talking about traditional Scandinavian cooking, it's either very fishy or it's very potatoey. Usually a combination of the two.
Wait, Danes are potato gamers?
We eat a lot of potatoes and we eat a lot of pig. I think our main export to the outside world is actually top quality pig meat.
It is pig meat, yeah.
And
that is wacky.
Denmark is like the farming powerhouse of Scandinavia, basically, because it's the only country that has like fertile soil where stuff can actually grow at a big enough coverage, so to speak. Which is why, like,
you're telling me Denmark is the real Europe?
Denmark is the real Europe. It was Atlantis all along. Which is true, because it's only like 12 meters above sea, so it's gonna sink when global warming finally gets us all, if you believe in that nonsense.
Well, I don't believe in it, I just, hope for it.
But yeah, colonizing baddies, colonizing brown baddies, is what Bleach Patrol is about.
Mm-hmm.
Now, a lot of people are gonna think, but what about the women? Being colonized is different.
Yeah, submitting is never the same as conquering. And
I feel like that's a tough pill for a lot of people to swallow, because it's like, oh, it's not fair. Oh, it's hypocritical.
Yes.
Nature is not fair.
It is hypocritical.
Nature is patriarchal. That's just how it is. And I hate to use the word patriarchy, but in this case, it works. Nature.
Yeah, in the literal
is a
sense of the word, it is patriarchal.
Yeah, and patriarchy has brought us so far. So why should we quit patriarchy?
Yeah,
well, it's
same
not
thing
really
with
nature's not really patriarchal. It's the humanity, like human species, that is patriarchal.
Well, that's true, because there are some matriarchal species, but
Yeah.
most species that are like cool, the based ones, like the lynx.
The base species are patriarchal.
Yeah,
Hyenas are pretty cool, though.
yeah, 'cause they have like elongated clits.
Yeah, they have mega clits.
That's
I don't
just-
like
that's
to
just the
think
same
about
as,
it.
like,
I've never seen one. I've never seen the
I think
legendary hyena.
a lot of Mexican women are like hyenas, because like if there are no like alpha males around, they will just like elongate their clit and turn into a man.
The stereotypical Chola GF who fucking had to man up because she had no men around her.
Yeah, and you see like I think there's a case to be made for like women who have to grow up to be like the man or whatever. They usually also have a higher amount of testosterone, or like they at least look like they do.
Definitely with no base Thai TGF.
Yeah, it's it's a thing. It used to be called tomboys. Now it's called female to male transgenders.
See, that's we need to bring an end to the tomboy genocide.
Yeah, it's been.
What are we gonna do to make this happen?
Well, first of all, I'm not gonna go into like some fucking Q Wignat conspiracy, because honestly, I think it's big pharma, but I don't necessarily think it's like a Showa. So to speak.
All right, I'll give you the hidden information, the fucking classified glow ops.
It's just like the whole fucking.
It's
the whole
big psychology.
The transgender thing is literally like a ploy.
You take a tomboy who's a sad girl, put her in therapy. She's gonna come out named Steve.
My first girlfriend, who was also my best friend during childhood, she could be described as the typical tomboy. Now,
I'm sorry for your loss.
She's not a female to male transgender, but now she has been put on all sorts of psychiatric medicine because she was acting too close. She was on Prozac for a while, and now she's like.
Oh no!
Really,
Now
like,
she's crazy.
She doesn't want to talk to me anymore. Like, we promised to stay friends when like she had to move to like a different part of the country, but like nowadays she doesn't want to talk to me. She's like on Prozac. She's morbidly obese because of Prozac.
Oh, well, you know.
Prozac actually makes you more depressed, which is the worst part. So, like, oh, I'm still depressed. Better take even more Prozac or stronger Prozac or even like other.
Yeah, up my dose stock. It'll
or,
fix
like,
me.
Fucking inject like anthrax into your labia or something.
Don't you think it's fucked up that Big Pharma was only a problem ever since we stopped doing exorcisms?
Yeah, like the rise of Big Pharma correlates with the fall of exorcisms.
Not to mention, things started going bad when we stopped throwing virgins in volcanoes. What happened with that?
Yeah, virgin
So-
sex.
So my proposal: more volcano sacrifice, more exorcisms, and then maybe we kind of tone down
if
the
you don't have a volcano
pharmaceuticals.
nearby, you can always just make a bonfire.
Well, we can do it the way our ancestors did. We're gonna build a big man out of sticks. We're gonna fill it with people, and we're gonna burn it.
That's true. See, this is what Christ cucks don't get. This is like when the Christ cuck cope is, oh, it's barbaric. Yeah, but hey, at least we're not fucking kissing the feet of brown immigrants.
Dude, what's more... Wait, hold on. What's more barbaric? Putting somebody into a prison in their own mind or human sacrifice?
I think trapping someone in their own mind is way more evil than sacrificing people.
Yeah, because when you sacrifice someone, that's a soul sent to the gods. When you dope somebody up, they're trapped, they're a slave.
These sacrifices were bred and selected to be sacrificed. It's an honor to be sacrificed to the gods. Which is why so many people back in the day, when they were told, oh yeah, you're gonna be a human sacrifice. Oh, sweet! Can't wait to go to
Sick!
Can't wait to go to heaven with my 72 virgins, you know?
Yeah, and there's this huge bias against sacrifice because, you know, the epic funny Romans and the whole...
Well, I think I think Christians got it right with Cain and Abel about sacrificing. Because like, you don't need to sacrifice humans, but sacrificing something that you hold dear or something that's important is... I hate to use, you know, it's an ego death, but ego death in itself is not really a good thing. Because it's usually...
One thing modern culture has lost is humility before the gods.
Yeah. I fear the mighty... I fear the might of God. If I did not have the fear of God, I would kill and rape indiscriminately.
You would?
Yeah, no, but...
in Minecraft.
What if I told you God didn't exist?
Well,
what if I told you God wanted you to rape and kill?
Whoa.
That would be a different story.
But that's the interesting thing, is that we all hear God's word in our own way, so... Who's to say someone doesn't hear God as a, like, what if the Zodiac Killer was actually the most faithful man to ever live?
Yeah. What if the Zodiac Killer just had, like, a vision from God where it's like, you have been put on Earth to punish the sinners? And,
who's to say he's not right?
Yeah, we don't know if his victims were like pedophiles or anything. Which is this is an interesting question. Would you support a mass murderer if all his victims were sex offenders?
I would wager most people would.
I would say yes, and I think most people would. But then you have these people who are like, oh, killing is immoral. No, killing can... Most of the time, murder of this, like, murdering sex offenders and pedophiles and these morally corrupt individuals can be justified. Violence can be justified in a lot of cases.
What if the child consents it?
Well, that's a little... You know, I think you're gonna have to like go to the Burning Boots podcast or something to talk about that.
Oh man, yeah. See, that's the funny thing too, is that with the everybody always says, you know, kill pedophiles, etc., etc. I think most of them are LARPing. If they had the opportunity to do so, they would not.
No.
And I feel like it's a way to virtue signal that's safe, that you know people are going to agree with you.
Yeah, but we're just built different. I was born to kill. That's why I put "born to kill" on my helmet and a peace sign. Just so
that's
you know.
why I carved a swastika into my forehead and also "made to love" on my stomach.
Oh, you're like Charles Manson pilled?
Absolutely. Charles Manson did nothing wrong, and let me tell you why. Everybody in Hollywood deserved it.
Yeah.
Who is Charles Manson?
He killed. Listen. He ordered his harem to kill the wife of a pedophile, of a Polish pedophile.
Yeah, and see, here's the thing: Charles Manson never actually killed anybody himself.
No, and you don't.
He just got people to do it for him.
Yeah.
Which is really funny.
Yeah, it's like, you know, and plus his album. If you've ever listened to his album, it's a really good album. It was fucking like produced by the Beach Boys.
That's very based, actually, when you think about it.
It's hilariously based.
Manson was really good friends with one of the guys from Beach Boys.
Did he actually have a harem?
Yeah.
Yeah, he had like 12 different women or some shit, and they were called the Manson Girls. And they broke into Roman Polanski's house and killed his pregnant wife, Sharon Tate.
Oh, it was Roman Polanski's house.
Yeah, Roman Polanski, who is in hiding in France right now for molesting a 12-year-old girl or some shit.
Of course.
And like, wait, who's that woman who has like that old like actress who has like a lot of Oscars and like there's like this woman in Hollywood that I don't remember her name, but she's been in a lot of movies. She's she's buddies with Polanski, and she's been like, there was one Oscar acceptance speech where she was like arguing for his pardon.
Oh yeah, I remember that. I don't remember who it is though. But you're right.
She's very famous. I don't remember her name, but she has.
It's not Meryl Streep, is it?
It's Meryl Streep.
Okay.
Meryl Streep is friends with convicted not convicted because he escaped to France, but known sex offender Roman Polanski is friends with Meryl Streep, and she has been arguing for his presidential pardon, I believe it was.
Oh.
At either the Golden Globes or the Oscars or some shit.
You might get
shit, dude!
now
January fucking 2021, more than possible.
All I want to say is that I will pay my life savings to whoever manages to film themselves kidnap Roman Polanski and beat him to death with a crowbar in Minecraft.
In Minecraft, of course.
But there's a thing about Hollywood, and this is, I remember, like, I don't usually watch, you guys probably know the Rageaholic, like that guy, Razor Fist.
FPS,
on YouTube. I used to watch him. He's like a MAGA Pete. I don't really have anything against him personally, but you know, he's very, in some aspects, he's very r/the Donald. But he was talking about the communist subversion of Hollywood in the 50s and 60s, and that was a very interesting thing to actually hear about. And I think, you know, communism, I'm not gonna go like all fucking like red-blooded American male on you about communism. We all know that.
Yeah, everybody already knows communism's stupid.
Yeah, so I'm not gonna go into like a tirade about communism, but I think that the subversion of Hollywood by communists has pretty much was one of the like the slippery slope stepping stones to lead to the attempt to normalize pedophilia in Hollywood.
Yeah, obviously.
And it's like, it's weird, dude. It's like it's fucked up.
It is fucked up that our
like
culture has slipped so far out of our
Polanski,
fingers.
Like Tarantino is a fucking creep. Like,
yeah, we've seen the pictures.
like love him or hate Tarantino, he's a fucking, like, he's a weird creep.
Yeah.
Like, and he has this.
Didn't he like defend some?
And he really likes to fetishize Jewish women for some reason. Like
Uma Thurman, Jewish?
Yeah, I think Uma Thurman is Jewish, but like, even then, if you watch like what's that movie where it's like a bunch of like, it's like Jewish revenge porn.
Inglourious Basterds.
Yeah, Inglourious
Basterds.
Basterds.
Yeah. When I watched, like, when I was like a slumbering peon when I first watched it, I thought it was a fun movie. But now I look back, it's a Jewish woman with a black boyfriend who kills Hitler. You know.
I kind of watch it. Like I don't know. Like
I should rewatch it so I can pull it apart in my own head.
No, but like that movie is kind of strange to me, at least. I don't know. Like I usually like don't really mind, you know, obvious propaganda or whatever, because I see through it.
When you know it's obvious propaganda.
Yeah.
When you know it's obvious propaganda.
But like this movie, like how do I say it? Like I felt like the heroes are like morally repulsive.
The heroes are like, they're fucking.
Yeah, they're all like fucking freaks.
One of them is like an ex-Nazi, and he's like a he's a serial killer.
Yeah, I get.
He literally kills a guy by like fucking slitting his throat, like while like waking him up and then slitting his throat, and another guy fucking like strangles with a pillow or something, like suffocates with a pillow.
And I feel like the image they try to put there is that heroes can be flawed too, but it's like so much worse.
And then you have like Brad Pitt as like the fucking like colonel or like lieutenant or whatever.
Brad Pitt is funny in the movie though.
The movie is fun. Like, it has some good scenes, but the good scenes are usually unintentional, in my opinion.
Yeah, like don't ever let it be said that Quentin Tarantino is a bad director. He's just a freak.
I think his best
agenda
movies
behind Hollywood movies.
I still think his best movies are Pulp Fiction and Reservoir Dogs. Like, because I would say they're political still, like to some extent, but they're not as political as like Inglourious Bastards.
As a movie about killing Hitler, yeah.
Like a bunch of Jews killing Hitler.
It's not really political as much as you're just like pro-American.
There's also Death Wish, I think, one of the movies where it's like a bunch of women who kill.
Yeah, but the thing about pro-American propaganda is that there's always this like seedy hint of multiculturalism behind it.
Yeah, it's always like. Well,
like I might sound stupid,
personally,
but like
personally, I'm like one struggle, right now, but like there's a lot of I think it has a lot more to do with like immigration, honestly, because I think the only people who can really call themselves American are black, like descendants of slaves, and then white, like descendants of like settlers. Those are the ones that are considered true Americans.
This is my idea of what the American race is. Are the Anglos and the French. As much as, I have my gripes about Anglos, but the Anglos and the French are the ones that made this place what it is.
Yeah, and you can't really deny that. It was, and the Irish, but we don't talk about the Irish.
No, the Irish came later, actually.
Yeah, well, they settled.
Well, they were a couple of
They
the Irish
settled on the East Coast. The Irish were like East Coast, right? And Boston and shit like that. Boston.
East, South, there.
Boston.
Don't talk about Boston, my chat.
No, yeah, Boston is a shithole.
I got a lot to say about Boston. None of it good.
Well, I mean, this is not to echo the like Joe Rogan, but I think the reason why they talk like that in Boston is because it's so fucking cold all the time.
I haven't heard that.
But I will disagree with Joe Rogan on that Californians are the smartest people.
No, definitely not.
I think Joe Rogan has been smoking a bit too much DMT, like government experimental DMT.
See, I don't think Joe Rogan's a dumb guy. It's a shame he'll never reincarnate, but it's just...
Yeah.
It's the way statistics works. I feel that he's saying that California is the smartest state. Because, if you think about it, like, on average...
If you're an entrepreneur, the only places you really want to be are, like... You want to be in
New York City or California.
And maybe, to an extent, maybe, like... some of the major cities, like in Texas or in Florida, maybe.
Well, yeah, that's just because, capital.
Yeah. And maybe, maybe you can go to fucking, I don't know, Baltimore or Atlanta or fucking, I don't know.
If you really want to suffer.
If you're a rapper, Atlanta, yeah, sure.
Yeah, if you wanna appeal to the brothers, you go to Detroit.
The ATL. We should get our Atlanta friend in here one of these days and give us the scoops on the ATL.
Yeah.
Yeah, Loki invited her over there.
Yeah, fucking hell.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's fucking poggers. Like, here's where I think a lot of Wignats go wrong, and like, I have Wignat friends, don't fucking worry about it, but I don't despise the African American community. We have different goals, we have different approaches. And while I do think that the Eurocentric approach is more effective,
different needs for different breeds.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not gonna knock Afrocentrists or like, dude, I love Hotep.
No, because if I were black, I would absolutely be an Afrocentrist. You kidding me? I'd be stupid not to be.
I would be like the biggest Hotep on like Twitter.
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, I am black. Sorry, I'm black. I'm just albino. I have vertigo. Sorry.
Oh right, yeah.
Well, the thing with Hoteps, I don't know. It's like. I just feel it's like very, how do you call it, dishonest towards himself, if that makes sense, or whatever.
There are
like
there are some like,
the whole We Was Gang stuff.
There are some delusions.
Yeah, like the We Was King stuff, like the whole Egypt thing. They need to just accept the L on that one. But that's not to discredit everything south. Like these fucking savannah roaming bastards that just murdered. Based.
I don't think someone like Hotep Sophia actually believes we was.
No, I think well, the Hotep thing is just a remnant from the Egyptian culture, because you do see the sub-Saharan influence in physiognomy of pharaohs from the 23rd, 24th dynasty onward.
Yeah,
so there is a bit of Hotep culture that stems from that, but they're trying to call the whole thing, which is just
that
not
it was actually mainly Mediterranean, or like it was like Egyptians and Mediterranean, like Spanish people actually have a lot in common, which is interesting.
Well, there is this Celtic myth about an Egyptian princess, and that
Shut up.
No. I'm telling an origin
Egyptians
story.
were Albanian.
That's true. That's true.
I believe you.
This Sneedcast is Albanian propaganda. We are paid for by the Albanian government.
Kosovo belongs to who?
Albania.
Me.
Absolutely.
Okay, but like, yeah, there's a lot of we was shit that could be like argued for. And speaking of we wasing, black Wojaks.
Oh,
The
right.
newest trend on Twitter.com, which has sparked a pseudo race war between blacks and Asians.
Which is very funny, and
Yeah,
I'm
but
of two minds about it.
It's the LA race riots all over again.
We got Roof Wojaks.
So, what team are you guys?
I'm team black Wojak.
Same. I think the black Wojaks are cuter. The Asian Wojaks
think-
are very ugly.
See, the Asian Wojaks are true to form.
Yeah.
Because a lot of like Asian American women look like that. And I have
Yeah,
experience.
and plus, all of the owns being perpetrated by the Asians right now are like classics. There's nothing new and inventive. Meanwhile, the blacks are really stepping up their game, empowered by the black Wojaks.
But what I think about black Wojaks and like black meme appropriation in general, they focus a lot on the aesthetics. They're very about vanity.
Yeah, well, actually, I had a thought about this, where it's the ship of Ojakius, reference to the ship of Theseus, where if you replace all the base parts of something, is it still that thing? And the newer Wojaks, you can tell they're inspired by the Wojaks, but are they Wojaks?
I would call them New Jacks, even though New Jack is actually a different thing. So I would call them Neo Jacks.
Neo-Jacks.
They're I would call them a perversion of the
Right.
original format.
The same
Yeah.
way blacks got a hold of jazz music.
That's true. Jazz is white.
I have no comment on this.
I'm gonna have to do the jazz is white deep dive one day.
Yeah.
Mm.
But I will give the blacks the blues is black. You can't. take
Blues
that.
is black, yeah.
But most of the best blues musicians nowadays are not black.
What about rock and R&B? What is it called?
Well, rock.
Oh boy.
A lot of rock is like blues based, like in the blues scales. But I wouldn't call.
No, rock is Cro-Magnon, dude.
Well, I'm talking about scale. I'm not talking about Cro-Magnon. It's very Cro-Magnon, but I'm talking about like musical influence. It's blues based rock. But then you have like modern like noise rock, and it's like based in people fucking taking Molly. And like
What about thrash metal?
thrash metal is chromatic scaling, which is just like I'll just fucking demonstrate. It's like fucking, fucking
action.
music lesson. It's like fucking. My mic on OBS can probably pick it up, but it's like it's like just going up one semitone fucking shit.
Okay.
You have fucking, if you ever listen to Metallica's Master of Puppets, like
That's yeah.
that's not really. Some of the riffs are based on blues, but the main recognizable thing is just a chromatic like run. So thrash metal is partly blues inspired, but it's also just like it's punk rock basically, but metal.
Okay. Today
Here's the thing, like fucking a fun thing to see is like black metal musicians. It's always been really fun to me because I've always associated metal with like white people.
Yeah, but when the blacks get in there, like when they put their soul into it, you can really they put on an admirable display.
Yeah, have you heard Denzel Curry Rage Against the Machines? It's so
Yeah.
fucking good.
Or like Bulls on Parade or whatever. Denzel Curry's Bulls on Parade is a really good.
Yeah, I meant that one. Yeah, it's so good.
Don't you think it's funny Rage Against the Machine has become the machine they rage against?
It's true.
Yeah.
Tom Morello sold out ages ago. Like
Yeah.
he sold out when about like right before Zach De La Rocha, who's the lead singer, left. He sold out. Like
Well, you know what can I do really? Like if you want to be in the industry,
you cannot
like,
preach communism while selling tickets to your concert for like
Yeah.
$200.
The Anglo-Jew strikes again.
yeah, but I'm like thinking more like Ice Cube and like Michael Jackson, people who try to name them and they name them and
What do you mean naming?
The fact that Ice Cube got away with it blows me away.
No, he didn't get away with it.
Naming the...
He is syndicated on Disney now. This man can rest easy for the rest of his life.
Yeah, but he got a visit from, and he didn't do it again, is what I mean.
Sorry, can you speak?
Oh, okay. So they cut out his tongue. Yeah. Oh, and we're all talking about theoreticals in the game of Civilization.
Yeah.
Yeah. Naming them. Are we like? Is it the JQ we're talking about, or is it?
You might want to cut this out actually when I think about it. I don't think this is a good thing for the podcast.
Maybe.
Too far.
It's all don't worry about it. It's all theoretical.
Yeah, no. I'm not affiliated politically. I'm just discussing concepts.
Yeah, same. Though I would just bleep this out, honestly. This.
Who cares?
It's
Yeah,
up to the platform.
We can still do it while we're fringe and unknown.
Yeah.
True.
We
Yeah.
can clean and sober up later if it ever catches steam.
This is our early 20s heroin bender.
Yeah, it's it's like
Well-
when you go back in an artist's old interviews with artists that are still around, and then in their 70s
they're just mask off the whole time.
Yeah.
Well, for the record, I am Ashkenazi,
Yeah.
but
I'm 1% Ashkenazi, so I.
No, I'm actually
Yeah.
I am 200% Ashkenazi.
Guys, you're like, I don't know.
Listen,
Yeah, I'm a Jew.
Listen, we love Jews. I have nothing.
Jews rule.
Jews
Jews
rock.
rule.
Jews rock. And I actually appreciate some things about the culture, the Semitic culture. For example, the strong family ties, family.
Yeah.
And they have
And how it
But-
promotes.
good food.
How it promotes.
Jewish culture
Is it really-
matriarchal?
Matriarch.
Well, let me tell you, how much matzah can I eat? A latza.
Listen, bagels, love them.
Well, I
Yeah, but
had one today.
that's Polish cuisine. A lot of it is just Polish cuisine.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's true.
Are you telling me Poland is just Jews the whole time?
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's a lot of Jews in Poland.
a lot of them.
Yeah, a lot of them. Well, I mean,
Well, there used to be.
there used to be a lot of them. Yeah. Let's not go too far into that. Or else
Now they're
we're-
like
or else-
6
or else
million
we're gonna end up like Murdoch.
Alienate both
Congo.
sides. Do it. Why not? Fuck it. Do it live.
Fuck all the white people. Fuck all the. I will.
Oh, right, you're black. I forgot. Holy Christ.
Yeah, we fuck all the white people.
I do.
Literally.
Good to hear from you, Seth.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, Seth is already he's already put himself in a certain spot. So I can already say this. I know Seth. I have him on speed dial. We share information about the stock market daily.
You mean
That's
the-
true.
the-
I've seen it happen in real time.
Is this the hey people?
Hey, hey,
Sophie.
people.
Yeah,
So-
yeah.
Yeah, I've made stuff for some of his videos, and it's cool. Seth is a cool guy, and he's probably one of the best. I don't really like.
One of our favorite Jews.
He's one of our favorite Jews, and he used to study in Denmark. And one of my friends went to the same uni as he did,
Bitchin'.
and lived in the same dormitory.
Same commie block.
Yeah, and right after Seth immigrated to England, there was a rape, a story about someone raping someone in the same dorm as where he lived.
Oh, interesting timing.
Interesting.
Coincidence?
Right as he fled the
Who
country.
knows?
Now Seth lives in the UK because it's cheaper. Not because he likes it, but because it's cheaper.
Where is he from originally?
Funny
Does
story.
anyone
I
know?
was supposed
Seth
to
is
look
actually
at that right
Polish, as far as I remember.
Yeah, I thought so too.
now. Polish or Jew? Oh, right.
He's Polish, but I think he was actually born in a Norwegian hospital.
Because I've been thinking he's Polish or German.
He's Polish, as far as
That
I know.
makes sense.
I know he speaks Slavic, some sort of Slavic language. So he's from Eastern Europe at least,
Mm.
which is cool. I love Eastern Europeans.
We love
they're
you.
my
You
favorite.
ever have a pierogi?
I
Love
have,
Mm.
dude, my grandmother makes the best pierogies.
Your grandmother's Polish?
Well, she could be. She definitely has the phenotype for it.
This is troubling.
If you ask
Well, let me tell
Sophia, we're all Polish.
Yeah, well,
I-
Sophia claims to be my long lost sister. So
Mm.
Well, if my family's recipe for gołąbkis is to be believed, I too am part of Poland gang.
I think everyone is part of the Poland mafia.
Are the Polish the real Jews? Everybody is a little 1% Polish.
There's not really that big of a difference between, but
Yeah.
the polls and
Yeah, the best of the world,
The best race. They rule.
the best race. And speaking of
Slavomir.
ruling, let's talk about people who are into like obsessive self-improvement.
Ruling yourself, the improvers.
The 20-year-old improver. There's nothing wrong with going to the gym, having a good like nutrition, like daily like nutritional thing, like counting your calories, whatever. There's nothing wrong with being like Soul Bra or like, well, don't put out a $40 book where you're just gonna tell people to like look it up on the internet. But other than that, well, yeah, it's grifting.
Respect the grift.
Respect the grift. Respect the the grind. It's hard to be a grifter nowadays. But there's nothing wrong with being like Soul Bra or being like Bronze Age pervert or whatever. Who is based, by the way. Bap is based. His fucking podcast is really funny because I didn't know he was a Slav. He sounds like that guy Slavoj Žižek when he speaks.
Bap?
Yeah, he has like a podcast where he sounds like Slavoj Žižek or whatever.
Yeah, it's so fucking like forced, that accent. I do not believe that's his accent.
No, but it's fun as fuck. And he has like really bad like well, I might also have that, right? Because I'm not hearing myself speak. But he has really bad like echo in his room, or like.
The funny thing is like it's almost African, like his accent.
Yeah.
It's like Slavic and African. But hello, my friend.
Bap is cool. We love Bap.
I still have not read Bronze Age Mindset.
I have not. I've never. Well, I just heard of Bronze Age Mindset like a few days ago. Because I'm not very like. I'm on the internet, but I'm not very aware of what goes on I'm very clueless sometimes.
Oh yeah, no, I go out of my way to remain as ignorant about as many things as possible.
Yeah.
What are we talking about?
We're talking about being ignorant.
Ignorance is bliss, more like ignorance is based.
But there's nothing wrong with going to the gym, having like having a regimen. The gyms are closed right now, so you can't really, unless you live in like a low-risk area. But just there's nothing wrong with working out 3 or 4 times a week or whatever you do. And
there's nothing wrong with doing it, but don't make it your personality, because that's so like, fucking cringe.
People who are on this like self-improvement part of the internet are like, reach above your boundaries. Or no, you have a set boundary, but you're just born below that boundary, and you can reach that boundary, but you can never go below your limits. Because mankind has limitations, and when you're self-improving, you're only trying to reach the ideal you, which you can't really reach the ideal you. That's like, I was gonna say an oxymoron, but not really. It's not really an oxymoron. So, but you have you as you are, and then you have the ideal you. And the ideal you is something you should aspire to be, but it's something you can never become. And that's what I think a lot of these self-improvers, like these gym rats and these nutritionists, like these I would consider like all these fringe diets to be eating disorders, honestly, because like just eat, dude.
If you're hungry, just eat.
If you're thirsty, drink
eat
water.
Balanced, eat varied. It's not that hard.
I don't usually quote scientists because I don't really believe in a lot of what they say nowadays, but this is one thing I believe in. Drink water when you're thirsty. Don't try to like drink X amount of water per day. Just drink when you're thirsty, or like feeling dehydrated. And if you're feeling dehydrated, you need more sodium.
Wise words.
And if you're too hydrated, you need to cut down on sodium. The way you know you're too hydrated is if you have a lot of water weight on you. So that's my advice.
If you get bloated.
Yeah, if you get bloated.
Or if you're constantly pissing fucking Dasani water.
If your water is as clear as like fucking like crystal filtered mountain water. Then
if you can drink your own piss and it tastes like fucking Fiji, you've got issues.
If you feel like, here's a little health advice from Mr. Bones. If you feel like you're drinking too much water, you need to get checked for diabetes. Because one of the things about
excessive thirst is a symptom of diabetes.
Yes. So I know maybe some of our audience, I think some people from the chans are probably gonna find this. So if you're one of those people on Fit who drinks too much water, get checked for diabetes. Oh yeah, Fit. let's go into fit, because I think fit is the perfect example of the chronic self-improver. Because
there's a lot of people who they get this idea in their head of what they should be, but it's just this unattainable ideal.
like even people like Soulbra or fucking or whoever else is like a fitness, like
It's like the masculine equivalent of the bimbo, the himbo.
yeah. But there's nothing wrong with being weak. But there's a case to be made that it's wrong to stay weak. Like if you're I'm a skinny guy. I'm a lanky skinny guy, but I try, and that's the most important thing. The most important thing is that you try.
The most important thing is that you can defend your farm from invaders.
So
Yeah.
like oh, you have to be like lean 5% body fat, and you have to have like biceps the size of fucking no. Just listen. Just take the farmer approach. Like you go 70% power, but that means you can do it every day, because then you get more reps in. Because there's a reason why it's called farmer strength. It's because farmers conserve their strength so they don't wake up broken the next day, so they can keep on working every day.
Yeah.
That's how
Just
you
a
do it.
little every day. Slow and steady wins the race.
Like when you're doing exercises, let's say you can do 10 pull-ups, which I cannot do. I've been trying to up my pull-up game. But
Too tall, bone hurting.
yeah, I weigh a bit. Well, I'm not fat. I'm just a big guy. 6'5" for anyone wondering. But like, let's say theoretically I could do 10 pull-ups, then I would only do 5, because that means that I will be able to do 5. Maybe people who try to go for their max reps of pull-up, they're left sore for like 3 days. But let's say you can do 5 pull-ups every day. Then at the end of the week you're gonna have more reps. You're gonna have I'm trying to calculate it in my head. You're gonna have like 35 pull-ups as opposed to like 20. If you're just
but you also need to like make sure like you are advancing. Because if you do too much of one exercise, you will not like gain anything. Your muscles will get used to it.
That's when you up it. So let's say okay, I can do 5 now, no sweat. Let's bump it up 1. Let's do 6, and then then now you're doing way more. And then that's actually how a lot of pro athletes work out when they're off season. Right up until like, let's say you're an MMA fighter, you usually do low intensity, like 70% intensity workout. I think that this guy called Firas Sahabi who was talking about it. That's a good way to approach it. And I'm not a fitness expert. This is just my personal experience. This is what I've seen.
We do know a fitness expert though.
Yeah, we have a few fitness experts, because bodybuilders
On the staff.
racist bodybuilders, those are the people we align with.
Birds of a feather flock together.
It's true. But this is what has shown me the most result with my own progress, to realize something closer to the ideal self.
Yeah, and the vision a lot of them lack is that they go for constantly excelling instead of trying to get gains that are loyal to you, where if you miss 2 weeks, you're not gonna immediately notice like a lack of like cut.
I think there's a case to be made that there is a form of body dysmorphia related to working out.
Absolutely, yeah.
And that's also it's just as unhealthy as wanting to be super skinny, being super big and muscly. Bodybuilders are not healthy people. They're in like, they may look like really fucking cool on the outside. Even women are repulsed by bodybuilders, like professional bodybuilders. Because there's there's this thing where there's like what do you call it? It's the thing with like things that it's uncanny valley. That's what I'm trying to say. There's an uncanny valley with like working out, where you're gonna reach a point where you're gonna look so freakish that you're actually unappealing to people.
Like those fucking Iron Man competitions or whatever. Fucking dudes browner than a horse flexing on stage, looking like aliens.
Yeah,
well, here's the thing. Like, there's a balance, like where you're like a defender and where you're an attacker. Like, if you're too fucking muscly, like they will just see you as a threat and not as someone who can protect them. I think that's just like where it goes down to. Because the more muscle you have, like
fitness tip for the day, do that. And now we have to get into the other part of self-improvement, which is like what you do in your life. What I would recommend is not going to college. I would say pick up a trade, it's not gonna pay as much like per salary, but you're not gonna be in student loan debt if you live in America.
And you also have a handy ability when the collapse comes.
Yeah, when the societal collapse finally comes, if you're a carpenter, if you're a bricklayer, carpenter, smithing, electrician, it's so fucking useful, and you should at least be competent at it when the societal collapse finally happens, when the apocalypse is upon us, when the Great Reset
At least
happens.
get a book on how to make wheels.
Yes, carpentry is super useful, and I've been meaning to learn more about carpentry and engine repair in cars and stuff like that. Because my dad is a mechanic, and I've always really looked up to him. I respect trade workers way more than I respect people with the PhDs.
Scary souls.
Even though I come from a family with a lot of people who have PhDs.
Yeah, same.
I respect them because at least they take they don't take the theory cell approach.
Yeah. Now the way I look at it, like work and stuff, they're just trade work where you sell stuff and you do stuff for a living, but the carpentry and stuff where trades that are actual you do stuff, you build stuff, you put your soul into it. I think that's where it comes down to someone who builds and someone who knows your stuff.
Unless you have a degree in electrical engineering or shit like that,
yeah.
You're not gonna be building stuff. You're gonna be trying to create ideas. Ideas are useful.
Dude, could you imagine somebody post-collapse trying to build a computer?
Well,
Computers are literal fucking sorcery.
I'm studying becoming an electronics technician, so I'll at least know how to make a fucking what do you call them? These little green
circuit
boards.
board.
Yeah, at least know how to make a circuit board when I'm done. So
Yeah, because there's this bell curve on knowing how silicon chips work, where the low knowledge is this is magic. I don't know how
I think
anybody does
post-collapse we're
this.
gonna go back to using DOS, honestly.
Well, DOS is just you know what you're getting.
Yeah, DOS can be a pain in the ass, for some people, but it's way more straightforward, I guess, than trying to fucking code Windows 10 all over from scratch.
Well, you see, DOS users, they're like the old school Brahmin back in the day, where they can read the scrolls, and they're that knowledge is not meant for
being
everybody.
able to master DOS is like being able to read the Dead Sea Scrolls.
There's just some wisdom is not meant for everybody.
I would encourage people to work a trade. Maybe if you've had some work experience, try to get a hold of some guys who are in the economics sector. Maybe try to start your own business. Get to 5 million as quick as possible in value on your business.
Yeah. People think self-improving is the most base thing you can do. The most base thing you can do is be an entrepreneur.
Yeah, be an entrepreneur, build a brand, which is actually pretty easy to do nowadays due to the internet. But build a brand, get your brand value up to about $5 million US, which is not very hard to do. It sounds like a lot, but when you're if you find a good area to fill, it's gonna be really easy. Tech is usually the big area nowadays with brands, but you can also do other stuff. I would say maybe this is gonna sound really cringe, but there are some brands that are have a semi-humanitarian focus. These. I think the guy who invented those straws with a water filter in them.
Oh yeah.
So
And there's this
that.
there's this peanut butter paste with milk in it that some dude fucking made hilarious amounts of money off of.
Yeah, but yeah, get your brand value up high enough so that you can sell up. Get some share, whatever. Sell your brand when you had enough of it. Put that in a high interest account, or get as much interest on it as you can, and live off of that interest until.
And that's the quickest of all rundown. It's easier said than
that's
done.
how to speed run life. Not everyone it's not gonna succeed, of course, but if you don't try, you'll never
I mean, it's worth a shot.
It's worth a shot, but don't try to take out too much money in loans to start up a business. That's why I say try to get some work experience. Try to save up some money first to start a business.
Yeah, because loans in general are just a bad idea. Where if you can run the grift for no consequence loans, like go ahead.
I mean, there are some like if you're gonna go through your entire life without a loan, there are some obstacles because governments and banks prefer if you have like a loan on your house or whatever.
Ah, yeah, I wonder why.
Yeah, I wonder why. But here's a good thing. Also, here's the thing: if you've ever been in a work accident and you've gotten compensation money, use that because that money is untaxable. You can use that money to buy property, which means
it depends where you're from.
Yeah, well, here where I'm from, you can buy property with your untaxable compensation money, and the government cannot take it from you, even if you can't pay for it. They cannot confiscate it from you. So,
that's hilarious.
I know a guy who had a work-related accident, so he got about $500,000 US, and he bought a house for it, and that house cannot be taken from him by the government.
So what you're saying is I should get a job at a hardware store, fire a nail gun into my hand, and buy a consequence-free house.
Yeah, well, I mean, I would say invest in, like, if you're gonna buy a house, I think you should buy a house that's, like, not too expensive. So
or
maybe a little bit
I could invest in Sneedcoin.
That's true, my new cryptocurrency coming out, Sneedcoin. Or you can invest in Sneed stocks, they're only rising. You know, Sneed
only rising. Sneedcast episode 1, it's gonna spike. You better buy now.
Each bond is gonna be like, right now it's at $1,000, but once Sneedcast 1 finally hits the stores, it's gonna be 2,000.
Damn.
You know, it's buy now before it goes up.
Get hype. Remember Bitcoin? Remember how you feel now about Bitcoin? You're gonna feel that again if you do not buy Sneedcoin now.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Shit.
I'm not a crypto expert, I've never dealt with crypto, but what I can say is that people who keep buying into it are stupid as hell. The people who have made their money on Bitcoin are the ones that bought in when it was like $20.
But my chain
and then they bought like 100 of them or some shit, and then like, oh look, it's at 20,000 now, better fucking cash out, ching, and then when people cash out, of course the value drops. That's just how it works. But that's not like, I don't know. That's why I would say if I don't know what the current state of Bitcoin is, but if it's just crashed, don't sell. Keep holding on to it until it at least defaults back to the initial investment money.
I'm gonna go ahead and say it now. Insider trading is based.
Yes, insider trading is one of the most basic things, and it's actually so based that the CIA and the FBI conduct inside trade on information. They trade information with each other. That's how based insider trading is.
Well, if the FBI does it, why shouldn't I be able to do it?
The biggest currency in government is information. Never forget that. Once you have a certain piece of info, you have people by the balls, you have the system by the balls. So get a government job, get high access, get a high security clearance, hoard information, and then when you're done, you can sell the information to the highest bidder, and then you can move to the Caribbean.
Yeah, knowledge is power. There is nothing more high tea than scamming the U.S. government with things you know.
Most people who work in high positions for the U.S. government are scamming the U.S. government.
And that's how they sit so comfy up in the upper echelons. I mean, why do you think places like Little St. James exists?
Yeah.
Whoa.
It's true. And
where what you know about certain people can get you a comfy position.
Speaking about scamming people, I want to talk about grifters, but actually specifically grifters in the manosphere. Because I would say we're kind of in the manosphere, but we're on that like esoteric part of the manosphere.
Esoteric manosphere. Well, we haven't gotten too deep into esotericism, but we are on that level.
We are semi-esoteric, but the manosphere is like, MGTOW, like shit like that.
Yeah, and that's why I don't like being attributed to the term manosphere, but I understand it. It's just MGTOW motherfuckers. Holy shit. There is not a single fucking cringe fiesta on earth more unhinged than MGTOW.
And like the fucking there's also like the fucking pickup artist that still exists, but I mean, pickup artistry doesn't work anymore because now women have read the books that people used to read about pickup art, so now they don't fall for it as easy anymore. The only people who are gonna like who it's gonna work on are like teenage girls, and I don't think if you're trying to fucking get into the pants of a teenage
If
girl,
you're pooing on teenage girls, you've got probably greater issues at hand.
yeah, then reading pickup like PUA books. But there's a lot of grift in the manosphere because they're always trying to sell you something. Like how to build wealth and attract women, how to be successful. It's like money Twitter, but like on YouTube and like other stuff like that. So off the top of my head, there are like two people I remember. There's Donovan Sharp and there's Coach Greg Adams, and these are people that I don't really have a lot of intimate knowledge about, but they are they're entertainers basically. But they try to sell you some snake oil like PUA shit, even though they're supposedly MGTOW. MGTOW is about rejecting the current social interaction between men and women, which is fucked.
Yeah.
I will give him that it's fucked up because of.
And my thing
both
too
third and
is
second wave feminism, but I mean, the original waves of feminism have not been as destructive as the current ones.
Dude,
yeah.
fourth wave feminism, it's gonna be the shit.
Yeah.
And my whole gripe with a bit of it is that I don't believe in paywalling information. I think all information should just be available.
I think it's okay to paywall some information, but like there's a lot of information that I see these people.
No,
like,
see, you don't paywall, you cast wall.
That's true.
Should we paywall this podcast?
I've already set up.
Oh yeah, $100 per episode.
Yeah, no. Well, I have a Patreon, but that's my own personal account that I used to subscribe to other things. Who knows? Maybe if we I used to support Seth on Patreon.
Oh, I was ready for the proto OnlyFans leaks.
Nah, don't worry. Well, I have an OnlyFans account, but that's for my own cock and ball pics.
As we all do.
As we all do. No, it's actually only bros, I think. Only bros.
Only mans.
No, but I don't think there's anything wrong in if people willingly support stuff you're doing. I don't think there's anything wrong in taking that money.
Yeah, no, like a donation is different from making the information exclusively accessible to people who pay.
Yeah. I think there are some things that are okay to make, you get like, I don't know, I guess like cut content if you support me on Patreon or some shit. That's like some fucking like small stuff, you know.
Little bonus bits. Director's cut.
Well, I don't mind Sam Hyde's paywall so much because it's his living. He has to paywall his content. He still releases a lot of shit for free. Like, you can go on YouTube on his Hyde Wars page or like on littleshitpost.tv or like the New Pill and these sites, and you can find a lot of Sam's content for free, and he doesn't even strike it down.
For free.
Like. Very long snippets of his content. I don't mind him paywalling it because it's his income basically, you know. And he still gives out stuff.
Yeah, well, that's the difference. Being his is entertainment, meanwhile information should not be paid for.
Yeah. Well, he does have some information, but it is mostly entertainment with a bit of information sprinkled up top.
Again, I haven't seen any recent Sam Hyde works. I've been out of the Hyde sphere for a while.
It's a lot of like early. I would say it's a lot like the early MDE stuff.
Is it really?
Like the pre-Adult Swim MDE shit.
Yeah, because a friend of ours told me that his actual recent stuff has been pretty good.
Yeah. But yeah, grifters. Listen, if you have to grift, you have to do it right. Yeah, well, then it's not even grifting, because grifting is inherently just like a negative thing. There's nothing wrong with doing shit and profiting off of it.
Yeah, no, because I will say this forever. If you get grifted, that's your fault.
Yeah, if you fall for the grift, that means if you get played, don't blame the player, blame the game.
Yeah, it's the same with like OnlyFans and stuff. You know?
Yeah, if you're
because I don't bitch about OnlyFans girls because I don't pay for any of it. Like it almost seems manufactured, the outrage. Like women are just doing the thing women have done since the fucking beginning of time. It's called the oldest profession for a reason. And people that bitch about OnlyFans were just like, why is it your fucking problem? Are you paying for it? And if you are, then you're the retard here.
Yeah.
It's just very bizarre to me, the stance people have. Like, I get it. But if it wasn't OnlyFans, it'd be something else. And I'm not being a horror apologist. It's just, you know, women will find a way.
Well, yeah. Like, some people will do some stuff. Like, you know. It's like, dudes are gonna pay for it, women are gonna sell it. It's just the way it is.
Yeah, it's the way it's always been. So getting mad about it, I just feel like it's just a way to tickle your own balls.
Yeah. It's stupid, I don't know. Like, obviously it is indecent. Like,
The
but
best way
I
to
don't
stop
know, like,
OnlyFans is to stop giving women sexual attention for free. Like, a lot of
The low
guys,
cast-
a lot of guys are giving women sexual attention for nothing in return. Or like, well, they're giving them non-sexual attention, but with the intent of wanting to have sex with women. If you stop giving women like the attention that you give to like women exclusive, like,
well, that's not a bad thing though, because the men who do that are, you know, lesser, what do you want to call it?
there will
Like, I think
always-
it's good.
There will always be people who do it, but you
I
should
don't think
only-
it's a
you should-
bad
you
thing.
should only
And yeah,
give-
so it shouldn't be a route of attacking women for having an OnlyFans. It should be attacking the men that enable them to have an OnlyFans.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
that's where well, there's several factors. One of them being pretty bad parenting, I would say. If you're gonna open an OnlyFans, you've probably not been taught in the virtues of staying chaste.
Yeah, well, I have a particularly non-orthodox take on it, as in where I think whores are based, and I think everybody loves an honest whore, but
Well,
nobody likes, you know, a lying whore.
Guys like to sleep with whores, but they will not commit to a whore.
Yeah, and if you pay for a whore, like that's your
Well,
deal.
If you pay to play, that's just how it's gonna roll for the rest of your experience. Like if you begin with payment, you're gonna end with payment.
Yeah, because if you pay, that's your L. That's
So
on you.
You're always listen. Always try to get it for free. Like
Yeah,
fucking,
you know, finance.
Yeah, hashtag finance. Always try to
Hashtag
manipulate
finance.
women into giving you sex for free. Because
It's that easy.
listen, there has always been whores, but now there are so many of them. Like there's always been a town whore, but now every woman wants to be the town whore because it's suddenly
Because it's
beneficial.
profitable.
There's no
Not
stigma.
every,
Well,
but I get what you mean.
yeah, not every, of course. This is a generalization. We don't hate women, by the way. We love women.
I love women, and
Mm,
I hate weak men.
Yeah,
yeah.
it's like, dude, fuck. It's fuck. But if you deprive bad behavior of attention, you're gonna see a dramatic drop in said bad behavior.
Yeah, exactly. So you know,
don't even like try to moralize with these people, because bad attention is still attention. Bad press is still press.
yeah, absolutely. No such thing as bad press. You're right.
And I swear to God, every like female I see on Twitter has like an OnlyFans link as their like website link.
I see it a lot. It's really interesting, and
I've never seen that actually. But then
Really?
again, I don't really go. Like, I don't really look for people from Twitter.
Well, I don't go out to look for it. It just happens, you know. Sometimes
Oh, yeah,
when
see,
I interact
my-
with Twitter.
yeah,
Ah.
on Twitter I go out of my way to follow people I don't agree with, so I can, you know, get a look on the other side. And a lot of the people that associate with the people I don't agree with have OnlyFans links in their bios. Like if
yeah.
I were to do some scrolling right now, I could probably find one in a couple of minutes.
Okay.
So true. So true. He's scrolling.
Hold on, I'm gonna open up Twitter. I'm gonna scroll and I'm gonna report back.
Speaking of scrolling, I found a really cute cat video on Twitter.
Damn.
I'm gonna post it here. It's a little cat in a sakura tree, I think.
Nice. We need to listen. This is what they took from us. This is what they
Dude.
took from us.
Look at him, he's so cute.
Yeah.
If you're watching the podcast, fuck you can't
Listen.
see it.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm not a cat man, but that is a cute cat.
Yeah, we have to talk about. We have to talk about this. We have to talk about this. Cats are for like cats. They're like girls.
No,
Dogs are for the boys.
no.
Why do you think dogs are called man's best friend? You're out there in the woods with your
I
four-legged
do not
bud.
think either animal is female or male. I think the dog is slave, and the cat is aristocratic.
Well,
Cat
the thing about cats is that they're not very appreciative. That's the thing.
If you get a bad cat, yeah. If you don't raise it correctly, yeah, it will be a
No,
very
that's just how
weird cat.
cats are.
No,
Dude, I've had like fucking 10 cats in my life.
dude, all my cats have been like dogs to me.
Damn, I guess it's just because you're a dog.
Nah, cause I'm Shad and you're cringe, beta,
Cringe
you know.
beta,
That's right.
virgin incel.
You know, that's because I'm based and you're retarded.
No, I'm
Beta people like cats the same way beta men like mommy dommies.
Yeah.
Bosses them around,
Listen.
they get off on it.
The only reason you should ever go after a mommy dummy is to break them. You should view it as a challenge.
That is an interesting meta. I'm on this train now. You just enlightened me with some fucking ancient wisdom.
Yeah.
Whoa.
I sit here lighting my
You
cigar
don't like-
up.
You don't like mommy GFs?
I can
Like,
take
not
care of
not dumb.
Well,
Not dumb, I mean.
Oh, just mommy Jeff who takes.
Mi-
That's
mi-
that's different.
Miltz was talking about how there was a sugar mommy that's gonna pay him $500 twice a week.
What?
But I hope that's a meme because that can't be true.
No, he's a handsome fella.
I guess so. Well, I mean, we're all handsome fellas, you know. You've seen me. You've
Eh.
seen
Speak
Handsome
for yourself.
fellas only in the Sneedcast.
everyone who's Sneed adjacent is like a 10 out of 10 in my book.
Thank you.
Which is why everyone who's watching the Sneedcast instantly goes from like
Huge cocks, huge
they
tits.
get like big boobie, big pee-pee.
Both at the same time?
Well, not on the same
Or
person.
respectively?
There's a
Potentially on the same person.
I don't want
Sneed trans audience, think about
I
it.
do not want to be kicked out from my current social circle.
ContraPoints is gonna pick this up and you're gonna feel real stupid.
We're gonna be interviewing ContraPoints on Sneedcast episode 69.
ContraPoint
happen.
is a very vile person, I feel.
Yeah, oh, we talked about this before the pause, me and Berg. We talked about BreadTube. You know, those neoliberal socialites.
Yeah, I had just learned about BreadTube, and
Well,
then I
you already
immediately-
knew the people in BreadTube, pretty much.
Yeah, I just didn't know BreadTube was its
Right,
thing.
so it actually has a wiki page, so it's also known as LeftTube.
Oh, that's
So
That's pretty
if people
funny.
like ContraPoint, and then we have H Bomber Guy, who you probably know.
H Bomber Guy versus the golden one is funny.
Yeah.
Because H Bomber Guy does some good arguments, and the golden one is just like, I'm based, you're cringe.
It's true. I mean, that's how.
That's how I feel every time I watch a fucking H Bomber Guy video.
That's how you have to argue with people like that, because H Bomber Guy, 50% of his content that is like you can break his content into two things: political and non-political. 50% of his non-political content is good, and 50% of his political content is good. So like, you know,
Well, the problem with H Bomber Guy is I can't take him serious because he is literally that like white like person phenotype I really can't stand.
He's-
If that makes
Yeah, I know
I'm
exactly
gonna
what
put
you
a picture
mean.
of him in the chat, dude,
Yeah, me too.
because like
I found a really,
his name is
really
his name is Harris Michael Brewis. Like,
yeah.
like this
Wow.
is him. This is like this is him. This is him in 2019. This is the Anglo phenotype. This is like the South London, or not even South London. This is like the Southern English phenotype. It's just, you know,
What an interesting looking man. And these are the most unflattering images of him
he's
I've
from
ever
West
seen.
Yorkshire, Halifax.
You know, that first image gives me vibes of this. I don't know if you've ever seen Mallory's
Actually,
Most Wanted.
he's from the middle of it, like middle, slightly north in England. So I guess it's the northern phenotype.
Yeah, maybe.
But yeah, BreadTube.
Anglo-Saxons be like,
Well, we're not BreadTube, we're SneedTube. But
Need to.
cracking open Sneedtube.
yeah, ContraPoint's H Bomber Guy Meteoro Brasil, a Brazilian BreadTube channel. Interesting. Innuendo Studios, who makes the fucking like I think that's the guy who makes the alt-right playbook videos, which are total fucking bullshit. Like that's not how the. Do you think the alt-right is organized enough to have a fucking playbook? Like
The alt-right was never organized, even under the banner of Richard Spencer back in 2014.
like, well, Spencer is a Fed. Like we all know that. He's
Well-
Anybody who's alt-right is a Fed. Even you.
Spencer is like a trad calf Fed who has a Satanist girlfriend. Like
It does feel like a bunch of those people are like meant there to like kill the movement, if that makes sense.
well, there's a lot of people who've been placed
Because
in
somebody
this-
takes the reins and then cringes it into oblivion.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Philosophy Tube. Do you guys remember Philosophy Tube?
No, I only remember Sorgan for Cad.
Philosophy Tube is also one of the bread tubers. It's like,
I wonder what Sargon's up to now.
well, he has a.
He
I
he-
think he has a podcast or some shit. Like,
I think it's fat.
Yeah.
Well, it's not Sneedcast, so I don't care.
yeah, anything other than Sneedcast is bad content. Like, come on, dude. Not based.
Can't even compete. Remember
Cannot
when
even-
Benjamin Carl ran for fucking office shit?
like
Uh,
UKIP or some shit.
yeah, and then he just like killed the UKIP party.
He embarrassed the party. Like, Nigel Farage fucking. When Nigel Farage is not in UKIP, it's just shit.
It's a bunch of cringe larpers.
The only saving grace of UKIP is Nigel Farage.
And he's gone. He's doing his own thing
That's
now.
not even like a joke. And he's gone.
Yeah.
And now you have fucking like people like Count Dankula, and Count Dankula is like, how do I put
He's
it?
fine.
He's fine.
Yeah.
He's like a meh. Like he has some political views that are like, I don't know. I think he's just trying to fence sit to keep himself
Yeah,
safe.
obviously.
Yeah, well, yeah.
From the
Most
British
people that are big in the YouTube media groups are fence sitters because they have to be.
The most right, like the popular right-wing things are just like neoconservatives, or whatever you call them. Like the new type of conservative. I guess it's neoconservatism, which is
Neocons.
which is just like 90s liberalism, masked with like MAGA aesthetics. And then you have like, and that's the most right-wing you're ever gonna get in like popular media, like Tucker Carlson. Fucking even
Praise be unto him.
Dalai Lama is more right-wing than Tucker Carlson.
Dude, the Dalai Lama spits some hot fucking
He
fire.
says that
He's
he
on
says
some shit.
immigrants should fuck off out of Europe.
Yeah.
Go back to your country. He has said that.
Yeah,
He said,
yeah.
and
Well,
he was in Sweden as you said that.
people see Buddhism as this like peace-loving Zen shit. Buddhism is war.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Buddhism is not peaceful in the way that you think. It's like saying Jesus is peaceful.
Yeah, no. People, the number of people that misinterpret what he meant by when he said "turn the other cheek" is astronomical.
Yeah. It's fucking hell.
It is hell.
Fucking peaceful people. Like, you can be peaceful, but you have to have the capacity to be violent.
Yeah, you can be peaceful if
You
you
will-
are able to
You are
protect
not- you
your
cannot be
peaceful
You
sovereignty.
cannot be respected if you are a weak, peaceful person. If you are a mighty, peaceful person, then you will have respect from people because you are able to stand your ground, to keep.
Yeah, and being able to stand your ground and protect you and yours is like key. It's the way mankind has survived.
This is what drops the panties too. If you're able to be aggressive, but you can temper your aggression in the name of civility. This is what
He's absolutely right.
This is what turns bitches wet.
Yeah. Alright, boys, I have to go. I might come back before you end. In the case that I don't, I'm sorry.
Yeah, what
I have to
if
go.
we just paused it now and had like
I'm just gonna cut this part out.
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
little
'Cause
bit
I
of
have to eat.
definition.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll be right back.
It'll be like you were never gone.
Okay, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Alright, sorry, boys.
See ya.
It's going good. Going
Yeah.
good.
Alright, so now it's Burger v Bones argument debate.
Uh-oh.
No, okay. Let's do a little talk about grooming. Let's talk about grooming as the final topic.
Grooming. Oh boy.
Because we're both we've both seen some shit, you know.
We have seen some shit. Considering we are in the Discord sphere, a lot of shit happens on Discord.gg.
I've been on Discord since December 29th, I think, 2016.
You know, I have been on Discord since around June.
And I joined Discord actually right around like election hype. That's also
yeah. I joined Discord around June 2016.
Yeah, so we both have like almost 4-year-old. Well, you have a 4-year-old account. I have a 3.99% 4-year-old account.
Yeah, and the gloomy, groomy spheres of Discord, it's everywhere.
Discord attracts a lot of fringe people, or weird people. I
because
use the word
it's
fringe a lot, but it works for this case.
Because it is a publicly accessible, easy to use.
Yeah. It's like it's open, it's free, it's like super popular, and it attracts a lot of gamers and a lot of people in the gaming. And I play video games. I play video games competitively. I've played several different video games competitively, and I will say this: there's a lot of gamers, quote unquote, people who spend a lot of time playing video games who do not have a lot of female interaction.
Yeah.
And women their own age will not talk with them because they think they're weird.
And younger women come on Discord to meet
women
people
always
like them.
kind of look up to older guys
because they want the attention
it's
of
like
older
an
men,
authority,
and then
it's like sort of like an authority figure, so to speak.
it turns into this thing that feeds off itself.
Yeah, so that's why grooming happens. But here's the thing for me, it can also happen the other way around, because one of the first people I ever really interacted with on Discord was a mid-20s Jewish big booby mommy who was groomed for the better part of a year.
That's interesting.
Yeah, that was when I was like 16, and like when I look back and I was so cringy, like I fell right into the trap.
And that's the thing too, is that
and her
communication.
Family was had Fed connections too, so it was like,
oh no, glow in the dark Khazar mommies.
Yeah.
And that's the thing too, is that the grooming does happen, but there's also when older people and younger people communicate, and it's called grooming when it's just communication.
Yeah. And it's like,
so it is easy to pull the trigger on a lot of things when you don't have the full picture. Yeah. But it's definitely more often than not, because you can go into any public social server and call yourself a 14-year-old girl and immediately get your DMs flooded.
There's a lot of people who are Caliac adjacent or in Caliac who put like 14 female California in their bio.
Yeah.
And they get so many replies. If I put 14 female like California in my bio, there would be so many like mid-20s.
Your engagement would fucking skyrocket.
Yeah. Or
very
like
easy
a female
trick.
Twitter name and put like a anime avatar, shit like that. You know, put like if I named myself like Remelia or some shit on Twitter.
And then it's just like, wow, this 14-year-old girl knows Toho. That's so hot.
Yeah, fucking hell. Like, it just happened. It's because it's like it's a neat system. It's actually a system that kind of encourages it. You know, because there's. The way the platform is set up is like really optimal for like
it's anonymous communication online, yeah, where you have this huge ocean of underage minnows, and then you get sharks that just wander
in the day, you used to groom on forums, like, you know, the chance.
Yeah, back when all the communication was public.
Yeah, but nowadays you have close chance. You have like I'm pretty sure grooming. I think I can confirm this. I think like grouping, because I used to use Ventrilo and TeamSpeak and shit like that. Grooming also happened in these things, and it happened in like private cam shows back in like Web 1.0 times.
Yeah. Remember Tiny Chat? There's been Skype groups. There's been the AOL chat rooms.
Yeah. Oh, dude.
But
AOL
it's just
chat.
the prevalence of internet in households now. Like everybody's got it.
Yeah, exactly.
And then.
And then you end up with all these like broken women on Discord. I would say the male to female ratio on Discord is probably like 10-1, but pretty much all the women you find on Discord are broken by like the time they're 18. Like fucking mentally.
And a lot of the time even before.
even before. And sometimes I actually had an interaction with like a 40-year-old woman on Discord.
How'd that go?
That was weird. She was
I didn't even think they existed.
She was like, I wish you were a bit older.
Oh!
Uh,
Well, rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, we need to get the 40-year-old mommies out into the forefront.
Yeah.
Stop grooming, get a MILF.
Yeah. Just
MILFs are underrated.
just play around a bit with it, you know. Have your fun. With
Sample from that restaurant, see how you like it.
sample from that old Italian restaurant over on the corner.
Yeah, Mama Rosa about to hit you with the hottest fucking chicken parm you ever had in your life.
Some gazpacho. Oh man.
But yeah, there's definitely a grooming endemic on Discord, just on virtue of the availability of internet in public households.
There's also no supervision by adults.
I was just about to list the lack of parental supervision on.
I was never supervised when going on the internet as a kid.
Neither was I, and I ended up seeing some shit.
Dude, the fucking... Also, like, in school, I remember my first exposure to pornography was a upperclassman who showed me some really disgusting, sick pornography. And I think if you showed, like, I was 10,
School.
and I, like, that's just, like... It fucks with you. I think that, like, Ted Bundy says the reason he was like that is because he was exposed to, like, BDSM pornography as, like, a kid, because he read some magazines.
I mean, that would make sense.
That's his, like... not excuse, but that's his his own recounting of his origin story.
Ted Bundy lore.
It also makes you porn makes you desensitized to the human condition, I would say.
Yeah, to human sensuality and sexuality, because it really, that exposure early on starts setting some pretty hefty standards.
Women are for the most part, women are turned off by guys who want to do all sorts of porn stuff, like fucking like anal and I don't know, you know, fucking.
See, they like the idea more than the practice.
That's true.
Where if they were to actually get into a position where they do that, they would more than likely hate it if they had any ego left.
Like, oh, we're gonna do all these weird sex positions. It's gonna be so good. No, it's gonna be fucking.
It's gonna be miserable, and you're gonna hate it.
Yeah.
And then you're gonna think, "Wow, why'd I do this?"
Yeah, it's fucking embarrassing. So yeah, quit porn. Stop watching porn. If you're gonna jack off to like illustrations of beautiful big booby.
I'm sure you can find a really curvy piece of driftwood.
Yeah, like a really like just like the perfect like cedar wood table with like all the right
wood.
Yeah, like Sneeder wood with all the right curves, you know, on the legs and all that stuff, and like the right carvings. And
then you can get your rocks out.
Go to town.
But don't, if you're gonna jerk off, don't do it to porn.
Yeah, it supports an immoral industry as well. An industry that also is like in the grooming sphere. There's a lot of
grooming.
There's a lot of
we're talking about grooming.
There's a lot of
welcome back, Baji.
Hi.
There's a lot of trafficking going on in the porn industry. There's a lot of grooming of women.
Yeah. I'm getting groomed at the moment to travel to a third world country.
Yeah, Baji's been ensnared by a third world pussy.
Dude, that's a really good way to start the podcast if you still aren't going.
And we are still on.
Oh, are you still recording?
Yeah,
we were just talking about.
I was thinking we're gonna round up to like a nice 2 hours, and then I'm gonna cut some stuff off. Okay, 3, 2, 1, back. Okay, trafficking, bad. The porn industry, bad. Like, do you know how much child porn is uploaded to Pornhub? That's why they had to fucking.
They had to nuke like 90% of their videos.
There used to be 10 million videos on there, now there's 2.5 or like 2.9 or some shit.
Which like if 2.9 million videos isn't enough for you to get your rocks off, you have greater issues at hand.
Yeah. The problem with that is, if you're absolutely dead set on jacking off the porn, at least jack off to like amateur shit. Don't do all the overproduced shit.
Plus, amateur stuff is quality.
Bro, no. All you should do is like fucking, what do you call it? Jerk instruction.
Yeah, just listen to Jelk instructions.
Jelk instructions. Let's go, Jelk gang. Where we at?
Yeah, that's our first T-shirt is gonna be #JelkGang.
Dude, I'll model it.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a good time.
My penis will be the model.
Hashtag Jelk Gang with this silhouette of a fucking donger looming in the background.
But the only people who defend porn are like these weird...
Coomers.
Yeah, gooners and coomers.
Dog, dude. See, being a coomer, I get being a coomer. The coomer is tame. The gooner is just this like.
The gooner is the final stage of like, being.
The gooner is like the dark side of the coom.
And at some point you're just gonna get like porn-induced erectile dysfunction.
Yeah, because these men, they get into these zen-like states in their goon cave where they're just jacking constantly, meditatively. It
is rather impressive, let's be honest.
Well, I'm impressed, but I'm also disgusted at the same time.
Well, yeah, it's impressive
it's like...
that a guy managed to kill 6 million of one ethnicity in a few years, but...
We're talking about
Can we redo it?
Can we redo it?
Talking about Armenia.
We're talking about Armenia, don't worry about it. It didn't happen. We are bought and paid for by the Turks and the Albanians.
One and the same, really.
Yeah, one and the same. Honestly, yeah, it's true. Like, come on, man.
Can we reshoot everything?
No. You want to start the whole 2 hours over?
No, I meant like since I came back.
Nah, it's fine. Don't worry about it.
Are you sure?
Yeah, dude,
Yeah.
it's good.
We're just vibing.
You're too scared, dude.
Yeah, I'm too scared. I am skid out.
He's all nerved up. People are gonna listen to him talk about things he usually talks about in private.
Yeah.
The thing is, if you find individuals who are very, like, well, first of all, here's one tip for people who really like to fuck with, like, gooners, is, literally just mention to them that, like, child trafficking is very prevalent in porn. That's one thing, that's one way to get at them, and then they're gonna be coping about that for a while. And then meanwhile, while they're sitting there trying to type up a response, then you can go over to the schizophrenic part of the internet. Then you can start DMing schizophrenics random numbers.
Oh, I did that one time. It was really funny.
Yeah. And
People do that to me. I don't like. I am.
But then it turns out all those like random numbers are just like page codes for like inhentai.net. And it's for all the ugly bastard comics.
Dude, I'm gonna start in my own ugly bastard dojin one day.
So
I promise you.
So true.
I'm gonna find a dojin artist. I'm gonna be like, yo, model a character after me.
So fucking based.
And you're all laughing at me now. You won't be laughing when it actually happens.
You won't be laughing when I'm stealing your girl.
Ugly bastard here.
Yeah.
I would be
Looking like
crying.
a cocked, fat, bald, ugly. Call me.
Sweaty, full of pimples.
Sweaty, full of juice and goo.
Massive hog.
As thick as the day is long.
And it is very long.
Every sized cocker here. What up?
Alright. So I think we're gonna end this thing with giving out some advice. Some advice for all the listeners, all the 5 listeners out there.
5?
Well,
How
actually,
prestigious.
more like 500,000.
5 million listeners in the arena.
Yeah. Okay, my tip is you should read The Green Book by Gaddafi.
It's actually a pretty good book. I really...
I would unironically recommend reading The Green Book by Gaddafi. It's one of the most well thought out political books.
I honestly think Gaddafi is like one of the few last good men we had in the world.
We did
Listen,
Gaddafi dirty.
He kept the population it was a dictatorship, but he was keeping the beast caged. Now that Gaddafi is dead, you see all these people, fucking Libyans fucking running around, raping and pillaging.
Well, they have a slave trade now. They didn't have that when he was in power.
He was keeping them in check. He was keeping his own people in check.
Remember when Saddam was in charge and what he did was kill terrorists? Miss that guy.
It's the whole U.S. intervention thing is just to put puppets in. The Middle East is a puppet state of the U.S.
It's so trendy. It's fucking.
So I guess our advice is support
your local dictators.
Support your dictators, and support the Mujahideen and the Hamid fighters who are trying to bring them back. Support.
God bless.
Support fucking Hamas or whatever it's called. Support.
So, how can I do this? Should I like just buy kebab?
You should just go to your local like Syrian kebab man.
Buy kebabs, buy Toyota trucks.
Buy Toyota trucks, and if you really want to help them, you should buy a Lada car and place it near a Bosnian's house, because Ladas are made in Russia and they will automatically explode if a Bosnian comes near it.
That's the secret aura.
Bosnians are the true enemy of Middle Eastern dictators.
Bosnians are scary.
Dude, Bosnians are fucking scary.
I remember driving my my Bosnian, like Danish Bosnian boss when I had him, and how do I say this? Like, I just remember like he was like, you know, slightly brown Danish guy, and I didn't know he was Bosnian until I sat in his car and he started blasting Bosnian music.
I've had that happen
Denmark
too.
is Bosnia?
Yeah.
There are Bosnian war refugees in both Sweden and Denmark.
It was very nice. Like, he's a nice guy and stuff.
Bosnians are really cool, usually.
Yeah.
Very sneak build.
Very sneedy.
That's good. That's good to hear.
Alright.
I love Bosnia though.
Alright, Baji, what are you gonna recommend for the guys listening? Come on.
I don't know, dude.
I believe in your Baji wisdom.
Buy kebabs from Bosnia.
Kebabs are pretty good. I would say I would like to recommend everyone watching Attack on Titan. The new season is pretty good.
Yeah.
That's what I've been obsessing about quite recently.
Yeah. And you, Burger, what do you want?
Yeah.
What do you want?
My recommendation: read Hagakure by Yamamoto Tsunetomo. Lots of good warrior wisdom in there.
Damn. I'll need to check that out too. Alright.
It's a fantastic read.
This has been Sneedcast episode 1, Humble Beginnings. I'm Bones with Baji and White Samurai, the artist formerly known as Burger. Signing out. Hopefully we'll see you again soon. Maybe with a guest. Who knows?
Who knows?
And
I think we should give our links out if people are interested.
Okay, so I'm gonna put on
Oh yeah,
the screen.
put the Twitter links in the
Twitter.com/basedbones, Twitter.com/whitesamurai, and Twitter.com/Beist. Links will be on screen and in the description. So yeah, take care, fuckers, and buy my merch, which is not out yet, but buy it when it comes out.
Think about buying it until it comes out.
Think about buying it. Form an egregore and then buy it.
Albania.
See you next.
الشعب السوري بالساحات للمجد بيرفع رايات عم يهتف